So hello and welcome to Interstellar. This is just a quick video, a guided tour around that ship out there, which is the one I'm almost ready to build on Pixie's server. Unfortunately there was an update earlier today and Pixie's server is down because it hasn't been updated, so I wasn't able to go on and do any work, although we're kind of playing GTA 5 a lot at the moment, so I probably wouldn't have been on anyway. But I do need to get them resources together so we can build this ship. We're almost there. There's been a few changes to the ship, to mostly add in some more solar panels because well, they was needed. Unfortunately that means the ship's actually slower than it was, but that's okay. And the ship was never designed to be, well, originally it was designed to be fast, but the update kind of changed all of that. The update changed the max speed of all ships to 500 meters per second, and I believe the Squirrel can also fly at that speed. So yeah. This ship can go, I don't know, 180, 200 and some meters per second. It's not very fast, but it's fast enough for what we need, and you're not really going to be flying on normal impulse that much. So, teleporter bay, there's two teleporters on here, a small one at the back of the ship, and this is the latest version of the ship. I've checked that today. Never used this dome before, so didn't really have a use for it, and I kind of like the idea of having the dome above the teleporter. It gives you something to look at, especially with the fact that you can't actually see out of these, see anything else, because I couldn't put windows up due to the way they'd done the exterior. But that's okay. It's just some way, you know, a lot of the stuff that you end up putting on ships is cosmetic, just to break the ship up, and to fill up waste, empty, otherwise would have been empty space, because it would have had cargo pads otherwise. So the cargo hold is a decent size. I've already got some hydrogen sitting over there just in case I need it. I shouldn't do, because the ship should be almost fully charged. But what we will do is we'll start from the back of the ship, or from the top deck, and work our way down to the back. So we have three of these salvages back here, right by the cargo pad, so you can easily offload whatever you're hauling in, and three isn't too much. Some windows above us because corridors are boring, and well, it's extremely noisy here because below us is the shield bay, or one of the shield bays. A cargo teleporter, because, well, if you're producing stuff in here you want to be able to gate out, because there isn't that many cargo pads in here. There's 6 of these 3D printers, 3 on either side, lockers to store any cards that you, or cartridges that you make. Check on the fuel system, everything's looking good. Shields, as you can see, 88,000 tops with 87,000 hull strength, so the ship isn't weak by any means, but the ship wasn't designed to be weak, but it wasn't also designed to be a fighting ship either. You'll notice that the ceiling looks a bit weird in places, patchy like that, because these windows used to go all the way down, but I decided not to have them there, and I'm not much for doing ceiling, so it'll just stay like that. I'm not bothered. The security, this has changed considerably, because the original version used to have to about here. It used to have where this console and these two consoles are, it used to have the data terminals, and then behind them just a line of data cores, and then going all the way down that side was just the small shield generators, and the same on the opposite side. Now you've got these 4 terminals, which there used to be 2 on that side and 2 in that side. Now one person can just manually just run between all 4 of them and do what they have to do. Makes it more efficient. All the data cores have been moved down to this end of the room, and the data terminals are up there, and there's enough cores there to do 4 terminals. So the ship is designed to be able to hold itself off in a fight, and if it needs to run away it can do so, in the sense that it can hack into somebody else's ship and reduce their capabilities. A small teleporter, this one's actually powered in life support, so should the ship run out of hydrogen, this teleporter will still function, as long as the small shield generator within that teleporter, within the life support group, is turned off or turned down. Staff quarters, nothing special. This is all just cosmetic. We'll be in that room soon. The restroom, another more cosmetic, but it just fills up empty spaces. Captain's quarters, and then the first officer's quarters, exactly the same rooms. Mess hall and boarding room is down here. I know the boarding room shouldn't be called that, it should be called something else, but well, you know, names are not my strong point, I just go with it. And the boarding room is just a small room for, well, nothing really at the moment. Maybe one day you'll be able to sit down at those seats and whatnot. Engineering, I don't know why I'm looking up to see what it says. So we've got a roof generator at the back. Originally you couldn't access the engineering or this portion of the ship from the top deck, but the teleporter being there was designed was put there for a specific reason, and it made sense that you would have access to the back of the ship. And I know I'm clipping these generators into the engines, but we'll pretend that you don't see that. That's not happening. This is 5 floors for the engine room, and it's definitely needed. So we have more generators, large generators, and we have a weapons bay, fully loaded turret, or should be fully loaded, yep, with more missiles back here just in case. And there's a port side and starboard side weapons bay, which can be accessed just through that door there. So it's, as you can see, what's that on there? What's that crate? Iron. Why would there be iron in here? We'll take that and move it. So you could also put fuel there and then sit here filling up the tanks should we need more fuel, and there's some cargo pads up here just for more storage for fuel. The design of the ship was actually meant to be a lot smaller than what it is, but you know, it's one of those things, you start off small and before you know it you've made a monster of a ship. And before I done the power groups, this was a really hard ship to power. It chewed through the fuel so fast. So we're in corridor 1. There we go, hallway 1. I'm half asleep as well, and just, this used to be a cargo hold, same as on the opposite side, but I decided to use it for the generators, large shield generators and some large generators, a capacitor and some small some large small batteries. So we haven't got actually any large batteries in the game yet. Same on this side. So the as you can see, excess engineering and weapons bay. So this has all been designed with the focus of being able to access, because this is effectively the center of the ship right here, this corridor. So as long as you're in this corridor, you'll know that you can, you'll know where you are, basically, which ways to the front and which ways to the rear of the ship easily. Unlike my other ships where you would get lost extremely easy. Mining bay, plenty of cargo storage for processed or unprocessed ores, 2 refineries, 3 mining stations, and a door on either side that will take you into the shield bay. So, and then obviously back through to the back of the ship. The teleporter for cargo, for ores to be teleported between the refinery and the assemblers, not the assemblers, the refineries and the mining stations, and maybe even the assemblers. I don't know. I haven't actually tried that. But as you can see, triple floored cargo bay, not taking full use of the space because, well, I think a ship that is completely covered kind of looks boring in the end. At the front of the ship we have life support and a crucial area. We should be okay on carbon. Yep. And that was all oxygen, wasn't it? And then weapons bay, just all the loaders. Once you've walked around the ship a couple of times, you get the gist of the ship. It's not hard to get lost, although when I first built it, I do admit I did get lost, but I've got used to walking around it now. I know the ship so well. This design of the hull was of the bridge was kind of taken from one of Pix's ships, because I liked the idea of it being a double deck, but it wasn't used because I wanted a double decked bridge. It was used to take advantage of the space below because I had no use for it, and at the time I had a big anchor that sat well, somewhere here, and well, I don't need that anchor on this ship, but it sat right there, so you could come down and quickly set the anchor. In here you've got the hacking station terminal, engineering terminal, obviously for your broadcasting as well. More missile launchers, one on either side. So there's 6 missile bays, or missile launchers, torpedoes, whatever you want to call them. And 2 small generators, shield generators, and so a bunch of batteries. So the ship overall it's big, but it doesn't feel big. And if we take a look from outside, ooh, I hate the fact that they've changed it so it automatically resets. So as you can see, plenty of solar panels on there, and they're all actually in use. They're all there for a reason, and in fact it could probably do with more, but I'm not going to add any more. This is the ship design now, it's not changing. It's as far as I'm concerned, the MK1 is now finished. The MK2 is going to take a bit more time. The ship design itself is finished. It's doing the power groups and making any final alterations to the interior, so you can easily find get from A to B and whatnot. The cockpit wasn't. I do like this cockpit, but the ship, as I said, was meant to have been a small ship, and well, All my ships are meant to be small, but they never turn out small. So these batteries was added as an afterthought because I couldn't put windows here for the same reason. The teleporter, which is above us, I couldn't put any windows there due to the way they designed the exterior. So to break up the bareness of the walls, I decided to put batteries up there. I don't do much clipping, but I will clip certain things here and there. One of the things that I would clip or have been known to clip is the shield generators, so I can cram more in, and sometimes the large generators, but I don't think I'll need to do any of that. If I needed more power gen, I could easily go and add some more to the ship without having to alter the interior design. So just a quick ship tour guide. Should have done this when I was more awake, to be honest. It's been a long day. It's probably coming up to about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning now, and I think I've got a cold coming, so I'm not exactly 100%. I feel tired and everything, and we've just got off quite a long extensive game of GTA 5, so I couldn't turn that down. Didn't matter how bad I felt, I couldn't turn that down. So yeah, the MS Sapphire MK1, couldn't think of a name. Like I said, names are not my strong point, so the Sapphire was something that just suddenly came up in my head, and it was like, yeah, that'll do. That's fine. Maybe one of the guys from the Monkey Show, which is what MS stands for, will give her a much more suitable name. But it might stay a Sapphire. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you all later. See ya.